Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday, the 25th of August 2025 to Friday, the 29th of August 2025. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. All right, to kick start, let's start off with the Nifty index and let's look at the monthly chart first. So, on the monthly chart of the Nifty, we are still seeing a bounce coming out of this monthly level of demand, which is this rally based rally. And then we also have a level of supply here. So now there is a possible fight on the monthly level, and seems like price has the potential to move at least towards this monthly level of supply in the short term. Let's move on to the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we have already seen this move shaping up nicely. In fact, we had a consecutive selling for nearly 6 weeks, and then we had this green candle which indicated that yes, the market is more or less likely to take a pause. And then we had this gap up, and then we had a little bit of a bearish candle. And today, the start of the week has been pretty positive. So seems like the market does have the potential, at least in the short term, to move towards this rally-based drop supply zone. And probably at this time, once the price reaches here, then maybe there could be some selling pressure again, right? So the ultimate level on the weekly supply is this gap level over here. But this could be your interim level, right? So we could expect to see some profit booking coming around 25,322 to 25,689 levels. If we go on to the daily chart, we had this bearish candle move on Friday, and today's candle has closed inside. And we are still playing with this level of supply here, which is this level here. And price reacted nicely. Price is still holding on to this strong support level. We do have an open gap at the bottom. And if we look at the levels here, this is pretty much our levels on the Nifty. So supply level at 25,141, 25,244, and then we have another supply at 25,412 to 25,563. And on the demand zone front, we have this gap level. All right. So there are several possibilities now. From here, we might see the market maybe moving a bit sideways and then inching up towards this overall monthly supply zone. Or we might see a corrective move to the downside where we might see this gap fill, and then from here on, the market might just see a move to the upside. All right, let's see what happens in this week. And because this week there's a holiday on Wednesday for Ganesh Chaturthi, there's a possibility that we might see more volatility on Tuesday, that is tomorrow, and then also going into Friday. All right, let's move on from the Nifty now to the Bank Nifty. So let's go to Nifty Bank. Let's see the key levels here. So Nifty Bank, the price is still playing within this level of daily demand. And it has been consolidating, then it has moving up. And now today also, we had a little bit of an indecision candle created over here, because of which now either the prices can rotate and move to the upside. Because this demand zone is still in play, I would still feel that Bank Nifty would try to move to the upside and try to fill this gap supply, and then later on steadily move further up towards this level of supply, right? So from the charts, we are still in demand, and unless and until this demand zone breaks, I think shorts would not be a good idea on the Bank Nifty as well as on the Nifty. All right, let's now move on from the indices to India VIX, and let us see what India VIX is telling us. So what is India VIX telling us at the moment right now? And based on the daily chart, the daily level was tested last week and we saw a nice fall. And now what we are seeing is we are again seeing a rise in volatility again coming from this level of demand. So the volatility is pushing to the upside, which means that if volatility pushes up further, then there could be a little bit of a corrective move on the index. Now, what is interesting to see is that there could be some supply zone on the smaller time frame within this entire week. So we'll just go to a smaller time frame chart, let's say 15-minute chart, and let us see if there is anything stacked up within that long wick. Um, so here, we have this supply zone, drop base drop. Price has come into this level of supply, and now it is reacting from this level of supply. So if price breaks all this level of demand and starts to move down, so we might see lower levels in the wicks, and that would also indicate that the index wants to push up slightly higher. So India VIX in demand and possibly Nifty in supply, that would indicate Nifty would correct. And Nifty in demand and India VIX in supply, that would indicate that the Nifty has to move to the upside. Okay, so now we can see here the price hit supply and started to cool off. So as the India VIX started cooling off, the Nifty steadily is moving up. All right, let's move on now from India VIX to certain sectors. So let's look at the FMCG sector. So see Nifty FMCG. Let's start off with the daily chart. Maybe we can start off with the monthly chart to begin with. So pretty much we are reacting from the monthly level of demand, but we are also now within the monthly level of supply on the Nifty FMCG. If you look at our weekly chart, so it's pretty messy, I would say, right now, because if you see over here, we are reacting from this weekly level of supply, but we are also showing some sign that we want to push to the upside. So right now, the way FMCG is playing, it's a little bit more sideways with a slightly bullish bias. Taking into consideration, we can say that this is the consolidation, or this is the range that we are in, at least on the weekly chart. And unless and until this range breaks out, we might not see the FMCG stocks pushing to the upside. Let's look at one more sector. Let's look at Nifty Auto. And if you look at Nifty Auto, we have seen a nice breakout of Nifty Auto. But what is very, very interesting to see on Nifty Auto is that we are coming into a very, very strong level of supply. So if the price eventually comes here on the auto sector, then all the stocks which are possibly coming into supply zones in the auto sector will again start to correct, right? So this is a crucial level now for all the auto sector stocks. So if you are lining up any profit booking zones on your auto stocks, then probably this could be a potential area where we could see some amount of profit booking coming in on the auto stocks. 26,036 to 26,845 is going to be a key level to watch out for. Now, taking this into consideration, since we are talking about the auto sector, let's open the chart of Tata Motors. And let us see if we try and correlate this with the sector, then what are some of the key levels that could play out on Tata Motors. So let me just remove all the tools here. So here we can see that Tata Motors came into this nice weekly level of demand, and it has now given us a strong bounce. And if we try to correlate the auto supply zone, right, the auto sector supply zone, then there is one level of supply over here, which is this rally based drop. Okay, it's a little far away from current market price, but then we also have one more level which possibly may line up with that auto sector supply zone, which is this level. And this is the level possibly where we might see some profit booking also coming in on Tata Motors. So 711, 745 interim supply. And then, of course, you have the 763, 809 level on Tata Motors. All right, now from stocks, let's move on to the commodity market. So let's first look at crude oil. And let us see what crude oil is doing. So last week, or rather, since the past couple of weeks, we have been talking about this weekly level of demand on crude, and seems like for the time being, right now, this level is playing out picture perfect, which means that if price is giving us a bounce from a weekly level of demand, then it's more likely to move towards a weekly level of supply. Now we do see this long wick over here, so I'm not going to use this long wick to initiate a fresh short, but I could use this rally based drop pattern to probably look at potential targets on crude oil. So where could we see crude oil moving from here? So from the current levels of 56.28 where it is trading right now, we could see an uptick in crude, um, and it's not going to move out there in one day, but it could possibly move to this point. So 63.26 to 65.98 could be the interim target on crude. Um, yeah, so this is the supply zone and this is the level of demand to watch out for. And then you have your next supply on crude oil, which is this rally based drop, but that's further up. Okay, so let's take it step by step and let us see how crude oil performs in the coming week. Let's now move on from the crude oil chart to silver. And silver also has been moving nicely. So we had this weekly level of demand on silver to which it is reacting. It's, maybe it's, yeah, if you mark it wick to wick, then yes. If you go to the daily chart, so we had this level of demand. And then from this level of demand, we saw a reaction or a move to the upside, which was this drop base rally. And now this drop base rally is playing out nicely. Now we are coming into a very, very crucial level, which is this level of supply. And we are seeing some kind of an initial reaction coming from this tested level. Now, if you look at the chart, the silver chart is making an all-time high, right? So it is bound that once the prices reaches the top of the resistance level, or or either it's going to try and break it and prices are going to move up further, or probably it is again going to start becoming range bound. Now, what is interesting to see is that on the smaller time frame of silver, which could be the 125 minutes or let's say the 240-minute chart, there will be some key levels of demand which will be indicating that price could retrace to those levels before it wants to give the move to the upside, right? So you have these levels here, and now because price has already pierced more than 50% into the zone, eventually this zone will be removed or taken out, right? So if we go to the 240-minute chart, I think the level will be slightly more clearer. So we have this level of demand, rally base rally, and this can also be a good level of demand where prices, you could see the prices coming all the way here and reacting, right? So on silver now, the new level of demand is 11,2778.10 to 1,12,042.30. And yeah, because there is no supply zone on silver, so we can't set a target, but prices could start making new highs. Okay, so this is one possibility. And the other possibility is that because we are already sitting very, very close to a level of supply right now, and we have already created a rally and now a base. So either we get a retracement, or then there is a potential that we form or create a new level of demand here with a new rally base rally. Both um, situations are possibilities, but we'll have to take it slowly and steadily to see what happens first, whether we have a breakout or do we have a retracement of the price of silver into the zone. All right. So pretty much this is the analysis on silver. Let's look at gold. So gold is also evenly poised now, as you can see. Came into this nice daily demand drop base rally and now pushing nicely towards this daily supply zone. Again, silver, um, gold, they are all inching towards making all-time highs again. So shorting is a very, very low probability opportunity right now on silver unless and until you are trading intraday. And now you can see on gold as well, there are these new levels of demand that are being created. So any dip in gold will probably bring price closer to these levels of demand where we'll expect to see the price again rising and moving up towards the all-time highs. All right. All right. So this is pretty much from me for this week. I hope you all enjoyed the analysis. And if you do like our channel, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to get the notifications and the updates. And if you're interested in our courses and you want to learn more about the stock markets, then you can get in touch with your relationship manager or also get in touch with one of our education counselors at Sharekhan Education. Take care, everyone. Wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi and looking forward to see you all next week. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.